The last chapter of physics is universe. Let's study this chapter in detail. Now, you need to know sun, the characteristics of sun, solar luminosity, the amount of energy radiated per second by the sun in all directions is known as solar luminosity. Sometimes you get up from your house and come out and see the sun directly. You get splashing light of it on your eyes. You do it. That is what is solar luminosity. It's equal to 3.9 into 10 to the power of 26 watts. Then chemical composition of the sun we need to study. Main important question is structure of the sun. Along with the diagram, you need to practice the structure of the sun. Sun consists of 3 layers: photosphere, chromosphere, corona. Corona is the innermost layer, chromosphere the middle layer, and outermost layer is photosphere. Solar radiation, the light and the heat that comes out of the sun in the format of ultraviolet rays, X-rays, visible rays, light rays, etc., etc., etc. All sorts of electromagnetic radiations, you can experience it over there. Parsec, P-A-R-S-E-C, 1 parsec is equal to 3.26 light years. 1 parsec is equal to 3.26 light years. Then you need to study the stellar spectrum, binary star, galaxy, Milky Way, cosmology, stellar revolutions and evolution, evolution of the star, birth concept of a star, evolution of star more than 30 times of the massive sun, protostar, black hole, supernova, white dwarf, black dwarf, red giant, neutron star are the only terms that can fetch you marks in this particular chapter. I am sure you will complete this physics by giving a gigantic vision of universe. See, Albert Einstein has said 2 things. He has always doubted about 2 things that happened in this universe. One is about the universe, and number 2 is human stupidity. And he was always clear about, he used to understand human stupidity better, but not about your universe. Thank you. Let me give you one very important and gist about what all you need to study in chapters. Let's start with radioactivity. You need to concentrate here on the radioactive elements. Where the radioactive concept starts? When it is above 81 or 82, the atomic numbers, all that above substances are going to be termed as radioactive elements. Then there are different types of emission, alpha, beta, gamma emissions, and this is what is known as transmutation. You are changing when an alpha emission takes place, it is going to lose mass of 4 and charge of 2. And this variation is going to be called as transmutation. Alpha, beta, gamma transmutations takes place. Half-life period, exactly the half of the life. The total becoming half is half-life. Then radioisotopes. The isotope, they have the similar atomic number but different natures completely altogether. They are called radioisotopes. So many radioisotopes, I can name it to you. See, hydrogen, deuterium, tritium, the best example. Please remember any 1 or 2 such things, you can able to answer it very well. So study this way, and its uses, plenty of uses we have. It's in the treatment of cancer. See, chemotherapy, you know very well about it, radiography, you know very well, and radiation effects. All these things are the uses of radioisotopes. Let's go into the next chapter, nuclear energy. You're going to study here the important concepts like nuclear fission and fusion. Fission is splitting, fusion is mixing. Then chain reaction, controlled chain reaction, uncontrolled chain reaction. Then working, binding energy, nuclear force, critical size. Three major terminologies. Then lastly, nuclear reactor. Study this much, nuclear energy will get over. See, I just want you to take the highlights and concentrate on those highlights. You get the total concept. Here, understanding is very important. Reading of textbook is at most. Please take up that automatically. See, from this chapter, many a times your match the followings have been taken up. Next is about solar energy. Solar energy, you have devices of solar energy. Solar device from which the heat is used and we generate electricity. From which heat is used, we generate other mechanical energy. Solar cooker, solar water heater and solar cells. These are the examples of it. And it's working. If you know it's working, that is going to be the end of this chapter. Say it's a very small chapter, lot of information given in brief. So when you are been answering the MCQs, 1 mark questions and all, they may touch this area. You have to be very careful about it. Let's go into the energy crisis. Very small chapter. You need to know renewable, non-renewable energy examples. End of that chapter. But know it perfectly. Don't leave anything. What are renewable sources? So sun itself, who is there above you, he is the best example for renewable, and non-renewable is any of your fuels, petrol, diesel, all that. They are all non-renewable fuels. Please understand this and get to know. But don't get into the crisis of it. Energy crisis, though it is there so much, we don't have to study about it much. Very important chapter coming up is metals. Lot of questions you get in this and huge chapter. You need to study that in detail. See the reactions of water on these metals, chemical properties of the metals, occurrences of these metals, its alloys. All this you need to know, and you need to know its physical, chemical properties and its uses. Copper and iron you are studying in detail. Please study all the details in detail, especially the extraction is being asked with diagram. You have to be very careful when you are answering the iron in it completely. Please study this in detail. Textbook will make you 100% perfect on this particular chapter. See, the main question that has been always asked is, draw a neat labeled diagram of blast furnace. Why coke and limestone is used in the furnace? One important question. Number 2, these are all 4 marks questions. Make it a point. Draw a neat diagram of the electrolytic cell to show the refining of copper. Which will you draw? You are going to draw the electrolytic cell and its applications, anode, cathode and the electrolyte in it. These things if you concentrate, the chapter is going to be over. Non-metals, its occurrence, extraction and composition, especially SiO2, a building material, manufacture of cement. Silicon carbide used as an abrasive. Silicone, insulator in electrical appliance. Sodium silicate, calico print. Very important question. Many times they have touched this. Sodium silicate, calico printing. Then sodium aluminum silicate used in the softening of the hard water. Very important term. You will study this exclusively. Hydrocarbons, very simple chapter. General formula of the hydrocarbons, CnH2n plus 2. We have alkanes, alkenes and alkynes. Then alicyclic hydrocarbons, simple chain, cyclopropane, cyclopentane, these are all the examples. Aromatic hydrocarbons, benzene, all that kind of things. Very, very beautiful smell. All your scent, body spray, nail polish, whatever creams you apply, it's all from this aromatic compounds. Then isomerism. The hydrocarbons having same molecular formula but different structural formula is going to be called as isomerism. Please study that. From this chapter you have very simple tricky questions. It will confuse you, at the same time it will get you to score more. Last, synthetic materials. Polymers are the best chapters that you need to take in it. See, cement and plastic are the examples of it. So synthetic polymer is cement, and how do we prepare cement? What are the ingredients needed in it? So composition of soda glass, pyrex glass, lead glass, fiberglass, porcelain, glass, cement, plastic, all compositions you should know about it. So if you study this in detail, you are going to have it very clearly. Why 3% gypsum is added to cement? Answer is, it prevents rapid setting of cement, which will be stronger. Write this much, you get full mark. Write any unwanted things other than this, you will get 0 marks. Be careful about it in making this. Then water hardness, soft water, as I told you, temporary hardness, permanent hardness. If you set right these things, things are all fine. Here you have to remember the permuted process. If you study permuted process, you can able to answer things wonderful. The last chapter of chemistry and the final very interesting and simple questions are sodium oleate, sodium palmitate. What are these? They are the soaps. And how do we make detergent? It is soap plus soap. Adding sodium salt into the long chain of fatty acid results into a detergent. So remember these things, study well, make yourself thorough with the textbook, become a good friend of text and the questions in it. The 10th standard result is yours. I wish you all the best. If you have any doubts, clarifications, call us at Prime office or call me on my cell 9742503226. This is Manjunath, who has given you the presentation. Good things are for you, bad things let it come back to me. Good luck.